All right, let's call the October 9th Architecture Review Board to order. If you wouldn't mind reading the roll.
Zach Rust?
Here.
Jerry Jones?
Here.
Dave Holdig?
Here.
Joe Clark?
Here.
Pam Langren?
Here.
Richard Lindy?
Here.
Good to have you back, Dick. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And any potential conflicts of interest for board members for the items today? Hearing none, I would look for an approval of the minutes from our September 25th meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Thank you. Brings us to item number 5, the proposed exterior remodel of the courtyard apartments at 1519 Eisner Avenue. If you could come to the podium so that you can speak into the mic and be on camera and give us just an introduction, who you are, and a brief explanation of the project.
Thomas Frizzle. I'm the owner of TMC Exteriors. We are looking to re-side the building at 1519 Asner, as well as all of the buildings on the property in the next 3 years. We've been hired by Burke Properties to perform that work.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Oops, it went away.
Yeah, but it's my picture now, so that's better. Can we pull the picture back up? The exterior.
You want it on all the screens?
There we
There we
go.
go.
Thanks. I had some concern that the existing building has a base element that's
Correct.
being eliminated.
Yep, there's a belt line at the first and second floor union that wraps the perimeter of the building. The original build had say it's the darker color beige on the first floor sections, if you will, around, and then the second and third floors were a lighter beige color. They have decided in a change that they want to keep the main body of the building from the ground level to the soffit level as the lighter beige color. And then the bump outs that come out a little bit, they'd like to change to a darker beige color. So essentially, it's the same color scheme of the building. They're just moving it from second and third floor to just the bump outs. So it kind of has a little bit better contrast in the overall look. So it would just be like the patio areas, if you will, of the units that are recessed off of the building, where the inlays would still stay the one solid color.
I'm not sure I'm following that. The balconies, the recessed
Yeah, so
balconies.
see in the photo, yeah, right where the arrow's pointing now it's on the bump. That would be considered a bump out, where they would go where it comes out off of the building on the sides, and the front face would be the darker beige color. And where it's recessed back in, the main wall where the pointer is now would stay the lighter color.
What about the recessed patio areas in the bump outs?
That would stay that darker color.
Okay.
So the darker color would stay
Consistent.
all on the protruding part, if you will.
There was a staff question on the clubhouse, but all the buildings.
The clubhouse will be done too. I'm not sure what their color plan is for that yet. If they're gonna go all one color, because there really is no bump outs on the clubhouse to do a different color. So
Think
we
that
haven't really
one-
discussed what their color scheme is for that yet.
That one would need to come back for architecture review
Sure.
and to approve that one.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments?
Is the roof being replaced or is that staying the same?
The roof is newer, so that will stay. Gutters, soffit and fascia all stay the same.
Okay.
And then their plan right now is to do this one, the 1519 now, 2 next spring, and then the remaining 3 would be in 2024, right? 2025, I'm sorry. So one now, two in 2024, and then the remaining three plus the clubhouse in 2025.
That was my question.
Historically, on projects with them, the one that they're doing south of Milwaukee right now, they had the similar kind of time frame, but then tenants started to question why their building wasn't being done to another one. So they fielded those complaints for a while and decided to do them faster. So it just depends on their budget and where they come in at. But that's the initial plan, is a three-year venture, this being the first year.
And at least the time frame on the Architecture Review Board approval is good for a year? Lene?
It's good for the project. Conditional use is good for the year.
So architect review is good for the project as long as nothing changes.
So coming back to do it in 3 years would still be covered?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Dick?
May we see the other elevations, please?
You have them, yep. So if you go back one to the front elevation, the front elevation and the rear elevation are a mirror image of each other.
Okay.
So, and then if you scroll down, you'll see the right and left elevations. So on those elevations, you can see that the two smaller dormer bump outs, we call them, they do have like a rib line that runs up over the garage roofs. We're gonna stay that one solid color that continues to the bump out, because it would look kind of weird if we try to tie it in at the corner post. So we opted to go up and over the ridge line with that same darker color, so that the color scheme stays fluid across the line.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to approve, subject to recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Did you guys need this sample stuff? Did you want that?
Do you want for the record, or we've seen them?
I think if we've seen them, if you guys are
Okay, I
good.
think we're all good?
Okay.
Thank you very
all right,
much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, brings us to item number 6, the proposed exterior remodel of Cucina Mia Familia at 1423 Union Avenue. If your team could come to the podium and introduce yourselves and explain what you're hoping to do, please.
Okay. Hello, my name is Maria. I'm the owner of the property and the restaurant on Union Avenue.
And I'm Daniel, architectural designer, helper.
Yeah.
So for the exterior of the building, we had proposed installing a new vestibule in the front exterior of the building, which is the front, the little black box in the front, if you see. We currently have an existing vestibule in the interior, which we plan on removing. That's the reason we want to do the exterior one. We recently had talks with contractors and mentioned that our current roof is in good shape, so I think that we're deciding to stay with the existing roof and just paint it. The current roof is the terracotta tile right now at the moment, so the owners would like to paint it instead. Just paint the exterior of the whole building essentially. Yeah. Next thing would probably be redoing some of the front concrete of the building, the parking lot, some of the concrete there, existing concrete is cracked, uneven. Plan on resurfacing a little bit, just making it all nice, even, clean. What do we got?
Windows would be the other thing.
Yeah, and then we also plan on replacing all the windows in the front, just because they're very bad with the insulation at the moment. We're not changing the sizes of any of the windows, essentially. We're probably only getting rid of one, just to accommodate a new front door. But the sizes are staying the same. Yeah, What else do we have?
I think that's it.
As far as proposed for now, we had a couple other questions. I don't know if we can ask them now or wait till the end.
When you fire away.
Yeah, so we weren't sure if we're allowed signage out front of the building, like a lit sign, if it's allowed, since it's like a residential area too.
Okay. So signage would be a separate permit.
Sure.
And the city staff, building inspection would be able to run through the parameters with you.
Okay.
It is in the ordinance what's allowed. For a commercial facility, I would imagine that a sign on the front would be pretty straightforward, just meeting the size requirements. And
Gotcha.
then figuring out where to put it.
Okay, perfect.
But then that'll be a separate permit review.
And that's okay. We were just wondering, like, just figured we would bring it up. Yeah, I think that's it. The actual building in itself, we chose like a lighter gray for the outside, like the stucco part. Right now, it's like a cream color, but we're gonna stay neutral. The roof is like a terracotta color. We're gonna do like a darker gray for that. We do have the examples here, but they're like tiny, of the colors that we chose.
So we're probably proposing like a darker gray for the roof and then just like a lighter gray for the siding.
And then the vestibule, is that how you say it? Sorry. That would be black. So as in the picture, the color choice of that.
And the material for the vestibule, is that a fabric vestibule?
Yes, it'd be a fabric and then aluminum built frame.
Okay. And the roof of the vestibule, is that also fabric?
No, oh yeah, yes, sorry, yes.
Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?
So the main reason we're doing this, I'm guessing, is to give you more floor space inside, to eliminate the vestibule inside, so people can wait in outside or just enter and,
Just a little bit more room inside.
Okay.
More table space. A
Okay.
little bit of bigger little waiting area too for people.
Yeah, and it's not a huge difference, but I know when we get busy, they all kind of like, you know, when you go in, there's a little room and then there's another door to get to the actual restaurant inside. When we get busier, you know, we have our tables, but it gets a little crowded, I guess you can say, you know, by the register. So we just wanted to give that extra space, just get a little waiting area on the side by the register for like the to-go orders or people that are waiting. And yeah, just a little bit more space. And I know with the vestibule outside, that will give us that extra room, just to be more comfortable. And yeah,
any reason you went with a fabric for it instead of more of a sturdy, permanent type structure to handle the weather?
yeah.
We didn't really think about that at the moment. That was just a quote we received. I mean, if we can do a little bit more permanent structure, if we're allowed to do that, we definitely would do that instead.
Yeah.
So it's more sturdier, probably lasts a little bit longer. Just because right now it's just a fabric and the aluminum framing, you know?
The fabric roofs especially tend to get dirty pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're open to both decision. I know the fabric vestibule was like the quicker option, just because we plan on doing cosmetic changes inside, so we will close the restaurant. However, we don't want to be closed for a long period of time just because of customers and it's a business. So the fabric vestibule just kind of was the quicker way to go. Also as well, since we're doing cosmetic changes, if we were permitted to, like with the proposed plan, obviously we would take the extra room out, and that would help us kind of move forward with the remodels like inside, or like the cosmetic changes, obviously with the flooring and the ceiling tiles. So that's why I guess we went with the fabric one. However, we're not opposed to having a more structured one, but I guess that was depending, yeah.
Yeah, I share your concern as far as the durability.
The fabric ones do look fairly temporary.
Yeah.
You know, it's a short-term solution.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to keep it there permanently, something a little more durable would be great.
Okay.
And I think that's something that we could probably include in the motion that if you choose to do that, just to bring the documentation on that back to staff,
Sure,
just
absolutely.
to see how different it is, if
Yeah.
at all, from what was submitted.
Of course, and I think like obviously the size in itself would be the same, the height,
Yeah.
just the materials.
Anything else?
No, I'd make a recommendation to approve with the option to bring the more permanent structure back to staff level, and as long as everything is basically the same size with height and different material that's accommodating to what we're approving today, no reason to come back to committee.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It is approved. Thank you very much. Good luck with your project.
Thank you so much.
Of course.